Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Jurassic World Dominion, the conclusion to the Jurassic Park saga. So we'll be talking about this. It'll be pretty non-spoilers, really. I don't think I can. I think I can do a fair review of this movie without going into any actual details that we may not have seen from the trailers. But let's get into some of the actual details of the movie. So this movie is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 26 minutes. As of recording this, there is a 30% Rotten Tomatoes score for the critics, a 79% for the audiences. I lean close to the audience, although not as high as 79%. This movie was directed by Colin Trevorrow, written by Emily Carmichael and Colin Trevorrow, the screenplay, and the story credited by Derek Connolly. So, if you don't know what's going on here, like I said, this is the conclusion to the Jurassic Park saga. Started back in the '90s with Jurassic Park. So, in this movie, two generations unite for the first time. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are joined by Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, and Sam Neill in Jurassic World Dominion, a bold and timely, breathtaking new adventure that spans the globe. From Jurassic World architect Colin Trevorrow, Dominion takes place 4 years after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. Now, this is all from the last movie. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans, and all over the world, the fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predator on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures. Um, that's an interesting approach to a synopsis, and I'll kind of talk a little bit more about the story and some of the things I liked and didn't. But let's quickly go over the cast. This movie stars Chris Pratt as Owen Grady, Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire Deering, Laura Dern reprising her role of Ellie Sattler, Sam Neill as Alan Grant, and Jeff Goldblum comes back once again as Ian Malcolm. The Wonder Wise, we have a new character, Kayla Watts. Mahmoud Athene, another new character, Ramsey Cole. Isabella Sermon reprises her role as Macy Lockwood, and also the young Charlotte Lockwood. We'll get into that a little bit more into the review. And Campbell Scott is Louis Doxson, and BD Wong comes back as Dr. Henry Wu. So here, let's talk about some of the positives of this movie. I think uh, towards the latter half of the movie, we really get into a lot of this action and we really get the dinosaurs involved. I think the first part of the movie spends a little bit of time, too much time, I would say, on world building and catching everybody up. I don't know if the assumption is that maybe a lot of people have never seen a Jurassic Park movie or even watched the previous Jurassic World movies. But we spend, I would say, the first 30 minutes just on the I would not so much a recap, but just a lot of exposition about what happened in the events of the last movie. But the latter half of the movie really kicks off. I think that's when a lot of the things finally click together. A lot of the pieces come together, and we kind of see most of the action that I really enjoyed. A lot of the fun beats of the movie kind of come together as well, and also just everything as we approach, because we know the finality of this movie. It really does kind of build to a really nice crescendo, although the conclusion is not as satisfying as I would hoped. But it was still left. I think it still left things off in a pretty fun place. So I think as a long time Jurassic Park, Jurassic World fan, and I think it falls into the common trap of, like, first of all, and I think I saw this in a few reviews, and this is nothing against the actual movie, but all the Jurassic Park movies after the first movie, they have to compete with being a Jurassic Park movie, right? And that's a high bar. That's one of the I really love that movie. I think it's a super well crafted movie. So that's the first hurdle. And some of the movies manage to clear the bar as far as not so much being better, but at least being something that really lives on that same tradition of Jurassic Park. I think my main complaint about this movie is that because of all the extra exposition, bringing in all these new characters and trying to solve the riddle of how do we get all the pieces together, this movie's so long. It is almost 2.5 hours long, and like I said, I feel the first 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, they could have really shortened that down. Even if we get some kind of like a little exposition dump via some news or maybe one of the characters recapping some stuff, like I just feel like they try to build some stakes that even though they were there, if you were coming in from the last movie, you were already aware of the stakes. If you were new to this franchise, I don't see how those stakes would rise high enough for you to really be connected. I think a lot of people, at least myself, I go to these movies to see the dinosaurs and the special effects, and every once in a while, a little dino fight, but also just the humans interacting with the dinosaurs. I think that's what I enjoyed the most about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. And I think that's been the heart of these movies. It's so much like how humans interact and feel when it comes to these beasts that have been extinct for years, right? Um, there's a lot of really fun action pieces for sure. I think that is very well handled. This movie looks great. Like overall, like I think it has very good special effects. All the dinosaurs, both practical and CGI, look amazing. We get to see some returning dinosaurs, not characters. Well, actually, I guess characters because we do see some dinosaurs that have been named from the past few movies. If you're a fan, you probably figure out who I'm talking about. As far as the performances, I think the returning cast is amazing, right? I think they just work so well together, and they bring in all this like for anybody that's been a long time fan of the franchise, they bring all this goodwill with them, and you just kind of want to see them complete their arcs. Because after the first one, they all kind of went into different directions. It's always good to catch up. As far as the new cast, Bryce Dallas Howard is amazing. I think she does a lot of good work. Um, Chris Pratt unfortunately gets a little bit of the more, I don't know, his role feels like it was never well defined in these movies. Like yeah, he's the Raptor trainer, but we never know why he kind of excels or why he's doing what his motivations remain unclear, other than maybe the bond that he's formed with one of the dinosaurs in the past. Um, and then we do get the introduction of Kayla Watts, really fun character. I think it's a good addition to try to get things kind of um, rolling forward. I think she's very well used in just moving the story along and kind of solving some of the problems for our protagonists, working with them. So really interesting. And yeah, overall, this movie was kind of a mixed bag. We have a story that's not all there congruent. I feel like they overcomplicated a lot of the story, where maybe that didn't need to be the case. I know they kind of wanted to go for a big grand finale, but like it's almost like we're gonna make this really complicated, but by the end of the story, we're gonna close out things and try to put everything in a neat little box. So like, why would you want to start with a messy workplace to begin with? I don't know. That's kind of how I felt. But like I said, the action's fun. The movie looks great, and overall the characters are kind of what keep me going. And anytime that the dinosaurs are on screen, whether it's new dinos or old returning species that we've seen in the past, it's great. Of course, there's big fights with this because I don't know if dinosaurs were as aggressive when they roam the earth. Maybe I should watch the new Apple thing about dinosaurs. But in this case, it just feels like we get enough runtime with the dinosaurs to kind of fit a pretty good chunk of the story. Um, yeah, overall, I would give this about a 65% if I had to put that. You can check out my review on Letterboxd for more, and you can stay tuned for the channel. We did discuss this on our live, also without spoilers. I think one of the funniest things is that we get a lot of people doing that pose of the with the hand of like like trying to get the Raptors to stay back, and too many people do it. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. Maybe not enough people have seen this movie um, to like make it a meme, but maybe it'll come back because I remember it was a thing back in the day. So maybe it'll come back. I will say my theater was full on Saturday morning, so people want to watch this movie, but I wonder what the drop off will look like from the first opening week to the next week, especially because we have some stuff coming in the future, right? Lightyear is going to take over here, so that'll definitely steal a big chunk of the audience that this movie's supposed to have. But you let me know down in the comments, what did you think of this movie? And let us know what else you want to talk about. What other movies we should review? We have some other stuff. So as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will be taking a quick break for the Father's Day holiday. So stay tuned on our socials for scheduling of the next live events. But we have more comic reviews throughout the week, movie reviews, TV recaps, all that fun stuff, trailer reactions of whatever we get ongoing. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.